A convicted rapist claims he's innocent, but Eugene McNair's fight to clear his name has been going on for more than a decade. Last night, we told you about how McNair's trouble started. Well, tonight, the roadblocks he's facing. For every crime, there's a story in The Truth Matters. Here's ABC4 senior crime and punishment correspondent Marcos Ortiz with tonight's Justice Files.
At the heart of Eugene McNair's case is his very low IQ, and did it affect his understanding of pleading guilty to rape? That's what his attorney claims as they appeal. The state maintains he understood perfectly well that raping somebody is against the law.
The family says Eugene McNair is born with fetal alcohol syndrome. At 13, he's homeless after his mother dies and stepfather abandons him while living in Los Angeles.
The neighbors in the projects was taking care of him, and then I guess things just got worse. So they called my aunt and told my aunt, they need to come and get him.
He attends Salt Lake schools, but is bullied, drops out, unable to read or write. And Telefero is his current attorney.
He's diagnosed, when this was a diagnosis, he was diagnosed as mildly mentally retarded. That diagnosis has been changed in the current literature to an intellectual disability.
In 2006, McNair's under arrest for raping a 16-year-old girl at a Salt Lake City apartment. There's no witnesses, just her word against his.
This girl is lying out of her teeth, okay? I went down there to go smoke a cigarette.
But a medical report shows the alleged victim has a bluish bruise on her thigh, evidence of trauma to the vaginal area, and there appears to be intercourse, and there was bruising near the vagina area. It's enough to convict him.
Mr. McNair is a dangerous sexual offender. He may have some intellectual difficulties, but that does not allow him to commit rape.
A public defender gets him a plea bargain. McNair asks for the results of a DNA test, but his attorney fails to produce it before McNair pleads guilty. A big mistake, according to his current attorney.
Not only was Eugene's DNA not found in her vaginal area, but he was specifically excluded from being a contributor to the DNA that was there.
McNair must serve 5 years and up to life in prison. While he's in prison, he's diagnosed with an IQ of between 50 and 70. McNair has an intellectual disability according to today's standards. State prosecutors don't buy that.
When you read through his own statement at the sentencing hearing, if you were just looking at that, reading through it, it probably wouldn't even cross your mind that he had intellectual difficulties. Like, he understands what's going on, he's apologizing to the victim. It sounds very reasonable and competent.
Telefero says McNair's unaware he can appeal, hasn't a clue about results of the DNA report, and doesn't know there's a time limit to appeal. A year passes. Other inmates, known as jailhouse lawyers, learn of his case.
They helped him. They knew that he was intellectually disabled, and the inmates kind of gathered around him, and there were several inmates that helped him.
They file a post-conviction appeal on behalf of McNair, but it's denied. The statute of limitations runs out. Telefero takes over and refiles the case before the Court of Appeals. She argues McNair's low IQ plays a role in missing the statute of limitations by 1 month. The state solicitor general disagrees.
And he might have some difficulty understanding all of the details, but there's no indication he didn't understand what he did was wrong.
In 2016, a second, more advanced DNA test is done. The state claims they have the goods on McNair.
And both of those swabs came up with a major profile that could not exclude Mr. McNair.
But McNair's attorney says it's flawed because the alleged victim admits to cleaning her private areas before the medical exam.
There's a whole slew of reasons or ways that DNA could have gotten there. And it's also curious because there's another male DNA there.
She's also troubled by the alleged victim's injuries in the original medical exam.
And no bruises, no scratches, no marks, nothing like that are inconsistent with her report of him forcibly holding her down, raping her for 5 minutes as she's pushing and struggling and trying to get away.
For 13 years, McNair maintains his innocence. He refuses to confess, even to the Board of Pardons, which has the power to release him. He blames the public defender for all his troubles.
I'm disappointed in him because he should have done his job. The state don't want to admit that they're wrong. This has nothing to do with me.
The truth as to what happens that night in the apartment remains on hold. It's been 18 months since both sides argued their positions before the Court of Appeals. But to complicate it further, the Utah Supreme Court must first rule on a similar case before McNair's can be addressed. For the Justice Files, Marcus Ortiz, ABC4 News.
Our thanks to Marcos. Well, if you missed part one of the story or would like more information on tonight's Justice Files report, head to our website, abc4.com, or find us on Facebook and Twitter at ABC4.